moving around the pages. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a nice and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as one of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more.
Distinctly I remember it was a bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, faintly I sought the borrow from my book seat crease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore.
And the silken satin certain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now to still the beating on my heart, I stood repeating to some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it and nothing more.
Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Said I, "Oh, madam, truly, your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came yapping, and so fleetly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened my door, darkness there and nothing more."
Deep into that darkness, peering long, I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming. Dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before, but the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And the only word there was spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and the echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this and nothing more.
Back into the chamber, turning all my soul within me burning soon again, I heard it tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely this is something at my window latest. Let me see then what the rate is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still in a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more."
Open hand, close the shutter, with many a foot and flutter. I in there stepped the stately raven of the stately days of yore. Not the least of decent tidy, not a minute stopped to stay thee, but with mine of lord or lady perched above my chamber door. Perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat and nothing more. Then the sea bonny bird beguiling, my sad face into smiling.
By the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore.
"Through thy crest be shorn and shaven, though," I said, "art sure no craven."
Ghastly grim, an innocent raven wandering from the nightly shore.
Tell me what the little name is on the night's Plutonian shore.
Quoth the raven, "Nevermore."
Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear this clue so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little legacy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon a sculptured bust above his chamber door with such a name as Nevermore.
But the raven sitting lowly on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour, nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than a flutter, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said nevermore.
Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken. "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster till the song's one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope and melancholy burden bore of nevermore."
But the raven still bugling on my fancy into smiling. Straight I wheeled the cushioned seat in front of bird and busting door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I booked of myself to linking, fancy unto fancy, thinking what was this anonymous bird of yours. What this scream, unnaturally ghastly gun and anonymous bird of your meet men enchanting nevermore.
This I said, engaged in guessing, but no symbol expressing to vow whose fairy eyes now burned into my bones. For this same more, I sat diving with my head in east reclining on the cushion's velvet, whining that the lamp light gilded over, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamp light gloating over, she shall pass nevermore.
Then methought the air grew denser, perfume from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the turfed floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind of nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, I said, thing of evil, prophet still of bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted on this desert land, enchanted on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still of bird or devil.
Now that heaven that bends above us, by that God we built the door.
Tell us so with sorrow laden, if within the distant atom.
It shall clasp a saint maiden who is the angel's name Lenore.
Clasp a rare and radiant maiden who the angel's name Lenore.
Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Be that word or sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shriek, upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Polonium shore. Leave no black plume as a token of thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door, take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
And the raven never flitting, still sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is screaming, and the lamplight over him screaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.